Hey, what's going on, people? Wherever you're watching this, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you are seeing this, I just got out of my screening for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I have just, pretty much this past week, saw Raiders a couple weeks ago, but I've been pretty much watching all the Indiana Jones movies again, doing a little review series on my YouTube channel. You can look if you're on Instagram or TikTok. Hit the link in my bio and go to my YouTube channel to see some of my videos, particularly those that will be coming out pretty soon. If you're watching this on YouTube, obviously you're already here. But yes, this is my out-of-theater reaction for the new Indiana Jones movie. And look, I pretty much am on the same plane with most other people, where I really enjoy the first three movies. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was definitely a disappointment in a lot of different areas. I do like this movie better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I'm very happy about that. I do think it's probably still the fourth best or the second worst, however you want to put it, in this franchise. I do think they do a fair amount of things better in this one. The writing is just overall really better. I'm way more interested in the story in this movie. Mads Mikkelsen as really the main villain, the Nazi doctor that he's playing in this movie. I really did enjoy him a lot more than what they did with Cate Blanchett. Not that she did a bad job in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but her writing for her character was just so bland and one-dimensional. Mads Mikkelsen, you understand a little bit more of where he's coming from, even though it's all, pretty much evil type purposes. He's not just a straight up constantly coming at you from a one-dimensional place like Cate Blanchett felt like. There was just more intrigue with his character overall. Boyd Holbrook, kind of one of the henchmen with him, I thought he did really good in here as well, the moments that he had. Harrison Ford in here, I thought they did a lot better job with the writing with him as well, in terms of dealing with his old age and just the stuff that comes with that, not being able to do the adventurous stuff with the ease that he was able to do, especially particularly in the first three movies. And they do also deal with, there's certain things going on with him and Marion and his family as a whole, and I thought they touched on that. I thought they were going to actually touch on it a little bit sooner than they did in the movie. I was starting to wonder, but they do end up going to really the heart of kind of the drama that's going on with that in this movie. So I thought they handled that pretty well. And overall, it was fun for the most part to see Indy back in action, Harrison Ford donning the Indiana persona for potentially the last time. It was really fun throughout most of this movie. Again, unlike Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, thought they executed a lot of the action scenes a little bit better in this movie. The effects were not as noticeably apparent as it was in that movie. There's still going to be some moments in certain sequences where I definitely was like, okay, I definitely see the effects there, and it's not as jarring again as Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So that's what I can say with that. It's definitely better done, more well done in this, and I thought some of the action sequences were just a little more interesting and entertaining and more memorable overall. And Phoebe Waller-Bridge, she's in this as kind of the counterpart with Indy throughout this whole movie. She was fine. She was really good. I did like her presence overall. It makes sense why she's involved here, and I just like the relationship that she starts to build with Indy in this movie. I think it definitely made sense within the story, and there were some fun moments to have with it as well. Her character definitely grew me throughout this movie as it went along. At the beginning, I just didn't know quite how to feel about her, but she definitely comes along, and I definitely like her more and more as the movie goes. And you also have this kid that's with her. I don't remember his name currently at the moment. I just saw it, but he is really involved throughout here. This kid that she's been taking care of throughout her life, and he was a nice presence too. There's a moment near the end of this movie with him that story-wise, there's just, in these Indiana Jones movies, there's going to be moments that just seems a little bit wild, over the top, a little unbelievable. There's definitely a moment here with this kid that just goes a little bit beyond realism even for these Indiana Jones movies, and obviously they've done that before, especially Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but there is moments like that throughout this. But I thought the way they ended the movie, I really did enjoy emotionally where they left off with it. Not the most entertaining or best, even well-written ending in terms of the third act and how it all goes down with how the story ends with everything, with Mads Mikkelsen and Indy and everything. It was cool. It was interesting. I liked the way they went in a lot of ways, but again, it's not one of the most compelling endings to an Indiana Jones movie, I guess you will say. But I thought, again, for the most part, my main thoughts are just I enjoyed this definitely better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and that's really the main thing I was wanting from this. I think it's just different with these two movies, obviously in particular, because Harrison Ford is older now, and it's just these are a different vibe to these movies, and so it's just definitely had to just get that kind of in my head too as I was watching this, like. The kind of that recognition that this is just a different era of these two movies in particular. But I'm just glad they did a better job with this. There is a moment, the opening sequence is very extended here in this movie. I'm not going to say what it is, but involves some de-aging, I believe, what they did with Harrison Ford's face. And definitely at times you can notice it. It gets a little bit distracting in the beginning. Once you start going through the sequence a little more, it's about like, it feels like it's like 10 to 15 minute sequence, but I didn't notice it as much as it went forward. But the one thing though is you do notice it's like Harrison Ford's older voice. Like it's this flashback, I will say, in the opening sequence, and it is very noticeable that it's Harrison Ford's older voice. Like he just sounds very different than he did in like around the Last Crusade time, so that is definitely noticeable. And then there's just moments, again, with some of the effects in this movie that I definitely notice, it's like, oh, that's not very good. I definitely noticed that is an effect shot. It definitely kind of takes me out a little bit, but again, not as much as Kingdom of the Crystal Skull whatsoever. I thought they did a good job for the most part overall with it. And James Mangold, I mean, stepping in here, first time for anyone besides Spielberg directing an Indiana Jones movie. I thought he did a really good job. He added his own style to it, but it did feel way more like an Indiana Jones movie as well than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I'll keep comparing it to that, but, you know, naturally that's what's going to happen with this. But, yeah, not to be too long-winded with this, that's kind of my main thoughts. An overall positive experience with this. Definitely give more of my detailed thoughts on my review when I put up on my channel. You can go to link in the bio if you're on TikTok and Instagram. It's Not Your Average Josh, my YouTube channel, where I post all my movie reviews and whatnot on there. And if you're on YouTube, obviously, you're already there, so check out some more of my videos as well. But, yeah, that's my main thoughts. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.